Candid Conversation with Adam Lopez. I'm your host, Adam, and I couldn't be more excited than to have my next guest with me. He's not only a colleague, a peer, but now he is a personal friend of mine and a lot to share this morning. And I want to welcome Josh Diggs to the show. Josh, welcome to a Candid Conversation this morning.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You know, Josh, you have too many titles on your LinkedIn, just like I do. But you know, you're director of claims for Modern Rain, which we're going to talk about shortly. You're also a member of HIRMA. You're part of the work comp Blitz. You're a consulting client advocate, a comp Laude award winner. A lot of things, Josh. This only indicates that you are doing amazing things, right? So, out of all these titles, Josh, tell the audience a little bit. What is most important to you? What are you doing right now?
Wow, most important. Well, yeah, I think I'm doing a lot, but it's because I love doing it. I've got a passion for what I do, and anything that I decide to put myself into, I really just go all in. So that's why I've got all those titles on my LinkedIn profile. But I think that the thing that I'm most proud of is being part of Modern Rain. And you know, obviously I oversee the claims for all of our clients at Modern Rain. But when Zach and I had the opportunity to start that up in 2021, I mean, there's just no better feeling than being kind of in charge of your destiny and being a business owner. So that's pretty special. It's been a lifelong dream to get to this point. And so, you know, so I think that of all those other things that you just mentioned are probably what I'm most proud of.
And you know, Josh, you and I, we really started getting to work together the middle of last year, 2021, in the middle of the pandemic, right? And a lot has happened since then. You now you're a business owner. Now you've opened up your home to many network events that have been amazing. You know, and we're going to talk about a little bit that later. But Modern Rain, you said this is something that it doesn't happen overnight. You've been working on this for a long time. Now you're a business owner. You're in the insurance industry. How has the transition been? Josh, from being in another company and now you're running your own company? What value and what responsibility and what stress do you now have on your shoulders as you run this business? Because I know it's not easy, but you're doing it. So for those listeners who are going to see this and hear this later, you know, give us some advice. How has your transition been?
Yeah, so that's a loaded question. I appreciate it. So I'll start off with how it happened, right? So my partner and I had a taste of what ownership was like at our prior firm, but when we saw the opportunity to open Modern Rain, this was completely us. This was us owning it 100%, and it was you know, no safety net. It's us jumping all in and really just kind of having the opportunity to be in control of our destiny. And on top of that, you know, employ other people, other top professionals in the industry that now, you mentioned the stress part, you are now kind of in charge of making sure that everybody's positioned to succeed, to feed their families, to continue their growth trajectory. They can continue to build on everything that they've done, give them the platform to succeed, to do big things. And that's a lot of what we're proud of, is that it's not just impacting me, my family, Zach Brown, my partner, his family, but all the people that we employ and all the people that we will continue to employ and to inspire along the process, along the way. Yeah, I think that's what I'm most proud of as far as us being able to start Modern Rain.
You know, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong. I also believe that relationship building was a key factor with this, right? You establish relationships, you create your ground, you have a solid, you know, network around you. I believe that you wouldn't, you know, embark on this journey unless you felt you have the support and the relationships. So how has a journey been up to this point as far as networking and creating relationships, Josh?
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Adam. And I think anybody that's gotten to this point, I think would owe a lot of what they've done to networking. Me personally, absolutely. I've always been really, really good at networking, keeping in contact with people, not fully in the early stages, understanding how this was going to play a major role down the road. I just knew I liked being in contact with people, checking up on people, see how people are doing, genuinely wanting to help people that I knew either get a raise, get another job, help them in their interview process, whatever it was in their, you know, it could be getting some sort of credit or accreditation, certification for work, whatever it was. It was always really important to me to stay close to people and genuinely reach out to people. And then when I started LinkedIn 7-8 years ago, whatever that was, that just multiplied, because I was able to reach out to people I didn't know, start to build networks, start to build relationships, nurture them. I mean, there's a whole lot that goes into not just having a network, but nurturing it, keeping, everybody apprised of what you're doing, vice versa. There's a lot that goes into it. But I think it's absolutely paid dividends to not just have a network, but to nurture it, but to do right by people, to genuinely want to give time, give advice, give recommendations, be a mentor, seek out mentors, all of these things, and I can absolutely pin that to a very, very strong network.
Well, Josh, if there's anybody was going to be able to make this happen, it's definitely you, your personality, your character, your drive. I mean, your passion, Josh, it just oozes out of you, right? And I know that you're going to be very successful. And although we're going to give the website a little bit on the program, explain to us a little bit what line of insurances do you guys carry? Is it workers' comp, property, general liability? Is it everything? What product is out there that employers and companies can dig into and review or evaluate for Modern Rain?
Yeah. So great question. We're full service brokerage. So really anything from work comp all the way down to property, auto, you name it. Employee benefits are the biggies. Really, what we focus on work is workers comp. That's where, for the majority of employers that are in California, particularly, work comp is almost always the biggest pain point. It's usually the biggest cost driver. Employee benefits can be that too, but it's where a lot of the fraud is. It's a lot where the abuse is, and that's just, and they see it, right? And so that it's personal in many ways, and it's expensive. So and that's where my claims background, spending 13 years on the claims side of things, literally starting from the mailroom guy, working my way up to literally doing every claims job up until I moved to the brokerage side of things. That plays a huge role because me and my team were able to advocate strongly on our clients' behalf, and that is really our big value add, particularly in the work comp arena.
That's amazing. So the last question regarding Modern Rain before we go on to the next segment and next set of questions is this. Josh, I've been interviewing attorneys and law offices and return to work and modified duty and COVID claims regarding this COVID pandemic that we're living in. What are you guys seeing out there that it's alarming, that's concerning? Because there is legitimate claims out there, Josh, but there's also a lot of fraud. There's also a lot of trying to cheat the system going on, and you have workers' comp defense with the employers, the clients, and you have workers' comp attorneys with the employees, and then you have California law, which is very strict. So, what are you guys seeing out there? What's going on regarding claims and COVID?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is just the onus that falls on employers to have to track all of this, to have to do all the contact tracing, reporting of claims, ferreting out what is work related, what is not, figuring out what to report. There's all the multiple agencies that they have to report to. There's OSHA to take into consideration. There's employee morale. It's genuinely taking care of people. There's just so many challenges there. And a lot of what we have to do is just hold the employer's hand through the process, give them all the materials, give them the resource, and as things change, stay out in front of it. Don't wait for them to ask you the questions. You got to go out on offense and say, look, this is what's changed. Here's what you need to know. This is how it applies to you, and here you go. So a lot of it is just the information, dissemination of that information, and the guidance that goes along with that. But it's definitely a challenge for employers, no matter where you're at.
Wow. So, I mean, this is a lot of information. I think we can spend the entire episode talking about Modern Rain and what's going on, but we have a lot to talk about. But we are speaking to Josh Diggs, who is the director of claims, and he's also a partner of Modern Rain. If somebody wants to get a hold of Josh, his direct number is area code 714-200-4125. Again, it's 714-200-4125. It's going to be there on the bottom of the screen also for your reference. And the website, Josh, if I'm not mistaken, is modernrain.com. Go in there, browse the website, look at all the wonderful things that Modern Rain offers, get in contact with Josh and the partners over at Modern Rain. And, Josh, I know you don't need this, but good luck in all your future endeavors and the journey. I know you're going to be very successful because of who you are and what you guys have established. So again, it'll be on your screen at the bottom. So check them out. Now, Josh, let's go to something else more personal. I have a very specific question that I've been wanting to ask you because I'm just dying to know where your passion, your heart comes from. So since I've met you, and I'm sure a lot of people in the industry can agree with me, and they can attest the same thing. Josh, you genuinely care for the growth and the success of people. You genuinely show compassion, and it's your passion to make sure you see people succeed. I get that from you. That's what distinguishes you as a professional, as a friend, as a peer, as a colleague. So where do you get the fuel, or where does the passion come from? Where does your heart come from to want to be, the biggest supporter? I'm your biggest fan. You uplift me all the time, and I know others as well. So tell me, where does that come from? Why is your heart there?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, I think it's probably just the humble beginnings of me growing up, right? I mean, at an early age, my parents divorced. Me, my brother and sister, went through tough times. We lived in a garage for a long period of time. We were pretty poor, and so there was a handful of people that shone light on things for me, whether it was like outside of my little bubble in Santa Ana, what life could be like, going to the beach, going out to dinner, just little things like this that we didn't have access to, didn't have money to do. And then once I started, college, and then eventually my career, there was a handful of people that saw something in me that they spent time mentoring me, taking me under their wing, even when I didn't ask. And they saw something in me and always kind of just guided me the right way, make sure I didn't stay complacent, and just pushed me along the way when I needed it without knowing, right? And so sort of in retrospect, that just stuck with me. And now I feel compelled to give back to people, to give time, to give effort, to give resources. Especially when I know that it's going to be well received, or especially when I know that they want it, or they need that push, or they need, a little fire under their butt to kind of take them to the next step, to remind them, don't stay complacent. You got a ton of talent. And then sometimes just build them up with confidence, and just show them what I see. I see where you can be this, this, and this. You may have not have seen it yet, but I know it's in you. And sometimes you just got to get that beast out of them. And I just feel compelled to help out and volunteer my time and resources and do these things to do that. And in exchange, I get a lot out of it, because the feedback from them is, hey, this was fantastic. You helped me get a job. You helped me get a raise. You gave me the confidence to try this new venture, or just to do something outside their comfort zone, or you connected me with so-and-so that now led to this, this, and this. And so I get a ton of, feedback and just a personal enjoyment from that. But also that's just good, that's good karma, whatever you want to call it, but it gets out there. My reputation is pristine, because everybody that knows me knows that I will genuinely bend over backwards to help a friend, to do what I can. We call my partner, Zach Brown, and I, we call it the flat tire test. If somebody called you and said, I'm on the side of the road, I blew a tire, would you stop everything you're doing right now to go
drop what you're doing
person?
To go?
And if you can't pass the flat tire test, you can't get into my circle. You just I wouldn't want to work with you. I wouldn't want to be your friend. It's just that kind of thing, because our time is finite. And there's all these people that that need our time, resources, and everything else. So if you can't pass the flat tire test, then we're probably not going to go too far in our relationship.
Well, Josh, I'll tell you that I will definitely drop what I'm doing to go help you if you had a flat tire. But you know what? You say something very important. You not only put fire under my butt, you put a rocket. I'm telling you, you were like, whoa, like go, right? So this is great, but Josh, you, like myself and others, you have a beautiful family. I met your wife and your beautiful children, and I have a wife and a daughter. And, so we dedicate our time to our career, to our home, to our family. And we still, like you and I, how much work I do in my community, right? So the time we have is valuable, but I see, Josh, that you do so much to give back as well. Maybe you don't serve on the city commission like I do as a commissioner, but you open your home for network events. You help our mutual friend Angel to put together a conference. You're involved with work on Blitz. And another thing that I want to talk about now is you started the 100 cups of coffee, right? So which is time, again, that you invest, right? But this is what I want to get at, Josh, is that you started 100 cups of coffee because you want to pour into other people and you wanted to invest your time. But I can almost guarantee, and I'm certain, that you also took away a lot by talking to those people. So tell us about the 100 cups of coffee. What is that, and what has it meant to you?
100 cups of coffee was a project, or was an idea that I got from Nicole Patterson at she's a work comp manager at Airmark, super smart lady, bright lady, always pushes me, energetic. She sent me this invite for 100 cups of coffee, and I thought, wow, that's awesome. It's virtual, of course, but it's an opportunity to connect, talk about goals, what you got going on, just all kind of stuff, and really just open ended. And so as soon as I accepted, I said, by the way, I'm stealing this idea. And she had got it from a TED Talk, which was 50 cups of coffee in a year, which to me was just, that was just too easy. That wasn't really much of a challenge. I feel like I did that already. Yeah. And so 100 cups of coffee, I said, I'm going to try this. So I posted on LinkedIn about this Calendly link. So anybody that wanted to meet with me could schedule. So they did, and I was overwhelmed by the response because within a couple of days I was booked out 6 weeks. Yeah, and so I didn't realize there's that many people interested or thought that would want to meet with me.
I was interested. I met with you.
And so this was the beginning of October, and I was getting the response I was getting text messages. Hey, Josh, I'm trying to schedule, but you're booked out through Thanksgiving. I said, okay, well, let me open up a few more slots. And so I had 7 o'clock in the morning, so I opened up a 7:30 slot. Yeah, still booked out 6 weeks. Wow. So then I opened up a couple of Saturday slots, same thing. So I ended up opening some afternoon slots that I could field on my way home. So I was spending an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours a day, some on the weekends, to meet with people, to chat about what they had going on. And oftentimes they wanted to pick my brain about, how to get into a new account, how to change jobs, how to deal with a situation they were dealing with at work, just a multitude of different things. And I had a chance to, impart some knowledge, and they got to pick my brain about stuff. But you're right, I got a lot out of it because I got, industry knowledge. I got to meet some new people. I got to, be inspired by a lot of stories. And so it was absolutely a two-way street. And ended up being 250 cups of coffee in 100 days. Yeah. But it was an awesome stretch, a little more than 3 months. It was a ton of fun. And I got to meet a whole lot of new people and just grew my network, but also strengthened some connections that I had that I didn't know about their backstory or how they became entrepreneurs or their current journey and things like that. So I recommended it to a bunch of people. And it sounded like it kind of branched out from there. So I was happy to see that there was like a spider effect, spider web kind of effect from it too. So that's again just good to see the tentacles on that.
Man, that is amazing, Josh. And I'm sure you agree that there's nothing more gratifying and satisfying than pouring into people and see them shine and see them thrive and succeed, in life and their career, and to know that you planted that seed or that you put you sparked that passion in people. I mean, that has to be very satisfying to you, knowing that, man, I can make a difference, and you pour in so much. So, we're speaking to Josh Diggs. He's the director of claims and a partner for Modern Rain, and we're talking about the 100 cups of coffee. If anybody wants to get a hold of Josh to get more ideas and to sign up for, 500 cups of coffee, whatever he has next, you dial 714-200-4125. It's going to be there on your screen. That's a lot of caffeine, Josh, 250 cups of coffee. But more than that, Josh, I think it's a lot of knowledge. It's a lot of value, a lot of benefit and impact. So talking about knowledge and value and networking, I also find something very admirable from you, Josh, is that you and your wife open up your home for a couple of already networking events dating from last year, which, by the way, you have a beautiful home, and I know it's your dream home, and it doesn't come by luck or coincidence. You work for that, right? You work for things that we have. I work really hard for this, so, I got to take advantage. But the other thing is that you share it, Josh. You share it with your network. You share it with your friends, your colleagues. And the most recent one was literally the second day of the new year, January 2nd, which was a Sunday, which I was very, very privileged to be part of that group that I was able to attend. You had a networking event to build our vision boards, which I have to tell you, it was amazing to interact with people, to meet new people, to get our boards together, put our ideas, our goals and our initiatives for this new year together. We had a great group there, and just the way you open up your home, it's like opening up your heart, Josh. Where does that come from? Because I want to ask you this. Number one, not only you open up your home, but you must have the support of your wife, right? I mean, there's no way you can do this without having the spousal support. So tell us a little bit about opening up your home for networking events. But number two, how important is it to have your support of your spouse in everything that you do?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to switch it up on you. I'm going to start with the wife because I'm going to say that's more important, especially if she might be watching this.
Absolutely.
So absolutely. I think in anything that you do, in any career endeavor, it's a team sport. And absolutely, she's there by my side. She was co-hosting with me and helping in any way that she could. And so, yeah, having that support is absolutely paramount to be able to have the success, to have the freedom to do what I need to do, and to know that she's got my back along the way. So hugely important, and Sandra's amazing. So I appreciate you bringing that up. As far as the vision board event, I mean, it was an awesome event. I always pride myself in trying to do something different. And, I've heard people put together vision boards in the past, and we've done it with our family. And I said, you know what, this would be an awesome opportunity to do it with a bunch of other people in a group setting. Let's get a bunch of really, really smart people in this industry that are motivated, that want to do big things, which are the people that I want to be around. And let's have everybody over and let's do it right after the new year. I'm talking about the second day of the year on a Sunday at 10 o'clock during football season. And so when you can check all those boxes and still want to be around those people in that group, those are the go-getters. That's the cream rising from the top. That's who I want to be around, because that's the next generation of leaders. And maybe already are those next generation of leaders, but that's who I want to surround myself with. And there's no better way to connect with someone than talking about your goals, your vision for the next year, your entrepreneurial, plans, your just education sort of goals and dreams, and just everything. And let's talk about it. And of course, doing it over mimosas, and that's always fun too. But there's a connection that is different than having a lunch or going to a concert or doing things like that. There's no better connection to me than a personal connection and you get to meet, other like-minded individuals. There's no better thing for that. And I'm fortunate enough to have a backyard that can support, kind of all these people in a group like that. But that was something special to me. And it's an annual thing that we told everybody, hey, this is going to be an annual thing. So book it for next year. And it's something that we're going to continue. And one of these things that is just going to be an annual hosting a gathering event.
Man, it was amazing. And for those that didn't show up or missed it or wondering who was there, what it's about, I mean, you had from adjusters to attorneys to risk managers, safety professionals, consultants. I mean, everybody was there, and it was a great group of individuals. But there's something that happened during that gathering that I didn't share with you. I was doing my board, and I was actually pretty much done with it. And one of your daughters, I forget which one it was, she has blonde hair. I know that doesn't help you, but she had blonde hair. Maybe the middle one. She literally got on the stool, and she was watching me. And then she asked me, and I was working on my last one, and it was network. I wanted to build my network. And she asked me, what does that say right there? And I said, it says network. And she asked me, what is that? I said, well, it's a group of friends that they help you and you help them just be better people in life. And she says, ooh, I need that. And I was just like, man, she's starting so young, and she's starting to see, Josh, what you are creating, right? What does that mean? What is dad doing? So to me, that speaks more volumes, because you're instilling in your children that this is good. This is what we need: friends, colleagues, networking events. And it's something that you're planting the seed, Josh. And I just wanted to let you know that was a very special moment for me. I forgot to share it with you because I know I had to leave, but that happened. I was just like, this is really cool, to have your children even look at that. So anyhow, Josh already said it. It's going to be an annual thing. So we're speaking with Josh Diggs, Director of Claims and Partner of Modern Rain. His email address, somebody wants to get a hold of him, I'm going to put it down on the screen. It's Josh, very simple, Josh at modernrain.com. Couldn't get more easier than that. Josh at modernrain, and rain is REIGN.com. So shoot him an email, get in contact with Josh. He's all over LinkedIn and social media as well. But the website for Modern Rain is also www.modernrain.com. And the number for Josh directly is 714-200-4125. All right, Josh, so we're almost at the end of this amazing interview. You and I can probably sit here for 2 hours and talk about many, many different things, because we are, alike, and we have the same initiatives and passion to just thrive in life, right? But I want to talk to you about really quick your partnership you've had with our mutual friend Angel Guerra-Chagoya for the CEU conference that's happening in May. It's an award conference and award for risk professionals taking place, I believe, in Temecula in May of this year. Tell us a little bit, what is that about? Do we still have space for registrations? What's going on there?
So the CEU conference is something that we're very excited about. You're right; it's going to be in Temecula, May of this year, and really, it's getting a whole lot of very, very smart people together to talk about some awesome ideas that don't always get discussed. And so there's going to be a theme to go along with it to make it fun, and really, it's going to be educational, of course, but we're also bringing what we call the CEU component, Career Earnings Unlimited. And so there's going to be a heavy component that's dedicated to talking about just professional development, growth, and opportunities to continue growth trajectory and focus on kind of bigger picture and next steps. And so it's going to be a good mix of education and career development. And I think a lot of people are going to be excited about it. We're really trying to take the idea of sort of the typical conference, flip it on its head a little bit, make it heavy on the speakers that maybe haven't had a chance to do a lot of the speaking engagements in the past. So kind of get some fresh voices out there, some different perspectives, and to talk about some topics that we think are important. We're going to mix in some TED style talks to go along with it, and we're just really excited to do this because there's a lot of buzz about it, and of course it's going to be in wine country, so there's going to be some fun components that go along with that. So we're excited about it.
You know, I was very fortunate, Josh, to be invited to be part of the advocacy committee to, help put it together. And I'm very excited, and I'm very humbled and overwhelmed in a good way to be part of this, because it's something great. It's something good for any risk professional that wants to, pretty much learn and grow. So I think that's going to be something great for all of us to do. And in addition, I'm going to be assisting Angel and doing one in Chicago also in July. And we're going up north to, the San Francisco Bay Area. So there's a lot of great things happening, Josh. And I want to end by saying this to you on this segment. How important is it, Josh, for us to start creating these events? Because we have, and all due respect to all these great conferences that occur in Vegas and San Diego, everywhere, these annual conferences, but sometimes it's good to have something that's local, more smaller scale, to be able to connect on a personal level, which includes networking. So how important is it networking and events, local events, to help grow our communities?
Yeah. Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier, that to me, networking is kind of the foundation of being able to make all these awesome contacts, to learn so much, build on it for education, for all these opportunities. So to me, networking is the foundation of so much of what we do. And so to bring a fresh perspective and some fresh voices into the mix, and give them an opportunity to share and give their own perspectives and backgrounds and stories, I think it's important just to mix things up a little bit and just give some fresh blood an opportunity to be a part of this in a way that maybe has been a little bit limited as part of the kind of current status quo. And so that's kind of what we're aiming to do, is just to fill what we feel to be somewhat of a void in the current the current marketplace, and just to provide some fresh content, fresh ideas with some fresh faces. And that's, I think, has been well received, and we're looking forward to it. And that's a good opportunity too to mention Angel, because she's phenomenal. She does so many great things. I know you've already interviewed her on your podcast, and that was a really really good interview. But she just does so many things and has so many ideas that it made sense when we were talking about all these things that we wanted to do to kind of put this idea together, put a conference together, and kind of join forces. Her Beauty and Beast and Business, and then WorkCom Blitz, to kind of join forces to make this happen. So it's been a lot of fun. There's still a lot of work to do, but I think it's going to impact a lot of folks.
Absolutely, Josh, and thank you for mentioning Angel, because what I'm going to do is in the bottom of the screen, I'm going to put the website for this conference, also your email and Angel's email, if somebody wants to get a hold of either of you for more information, because I know we have also some great sponsors who have come on board to support this conference. So it's going to be something great, something big for all of us. And I'm very happy to be part of this. But Josh, we have come to the end of this amazing interview. It's a lot of great information. I'm very happy that we found the time to make this happen. But before we end, why don't we show our beautiful mugs here that we got from Candid Conversation. There you go, from with Adam Lopez. And this is great. This is a very famous mug now on LinkedIn. Trust me, people ask for this stuff. But I wanted to thank you, Josh, because you are, believe it or not, one of the instrumental and one of the biggest, I guess, factors in me, even reaching further and elevating this podcast. So I want to publicly in this podcast say thank you so much for your genuine care to see this podcast succeed. And people don't know all the amazing conversations you and I have had and the ideas when I say you put a rocket under my butt, I'm not lying. It was just like, boom, I just want to take off, right? But anyways, we're speaking to Josh Diggs from Modern Rain. He's a director of claims and he's also a managing partner. And I just want to say also that he has so many titles, but above all, he's an amazing family man. He's an amazing husband and father to his children. He's an amazing friend to me, a great colleague and peer to many people. And you're just a remarkable individual, Josh. And I admire you for who you are. You give so much, and a lot of people, I think, agree with me when I say this, that you are definitely going to be successful in everything that you do. And we want to thank you for everything that you pour into all of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you to Josh Diggs for being on this Candid conversation. Josh, any last words for our viewers and our listeners?
Well, just thanks for having me, Adam. And, I just want to tell you that I'm very proud of everything you've accomplished up to this point and that you continue to do. It's been great watching you grow and how you've turned, this opportunity, this platform into being able to tell a lot of people's stories and impact a lot of people and shine some light on some things that isn't always talked about. Yeah. So kudos to you and proud of you for all the things that you've done, that you continue to do, man. So sky's the limit for everything that you've got going on. And, I'm here to help and a lot of other people are as well. So keep it going.
Thank you, Josh. And thank you to all of you. You've been watching another episode of A Candid Conversation with Adam Lopez with our special guest, Josh Diggs. I want to encourage you to continue supporting this podcast, subscribing to my channel, and just stay tuned for a lot more interviews coming up. Thank you and have an amazing rest of your week.
This episode is sponsored in part by County Schools Federal Credit Union. Established in 1960 with the motto, people helping people, County Schools Federal Credit Union continues to support Ventura County's educational community and their families while educating members and the community about financial awareness. With 2 branch locations, one in Oxnard, California, and the corporate offices in Ventura, California, County Schools Federal Credit Union strives to fulfill its vision of financial well-being for all and achieve its mission to improve people's lives and support ongoing education through fair financial products and services. Call County Schools Federal Credit Union today to learn more about all the great banking options and financial resources available to you. And visit their website at www.csfcu.org. County Schools Federal Credit Union. Thank you for your sponsorship